Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Rubber Sports Show. From the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania, we are covering GCW No Sleep from June 28th, which was, I believe, Friday night. Was that when the show was happening? Yeah, Friday night. So in Houston, Texas, at the Houston Premier Arena. First match, we had Broski Jimmy taking on Dulce, Tormenta. It was an okay match. Nothing spectacular here. Broski Jimmy, I don't know. When he got with Matt Cardona, he changed. I like Jimmy Lloyd. Jimmy fucking Lloyd. I don't like Broski Jimmy. He's kind of arrogant, and he's Matt Cardona. Dulce, Tormenta getting the victory here, ended up giving it 2 3/4 star. Next up, we had Janela taking on Chris Carter. Chris Carter hit a springboard Dragon Rana, which I don't think I've ever seen before. But hearing Dave Prazak say it, it was like, holy crap, it's a springboard Dragon Rana. Just Chris Carter is just something else. He had climbed up on something that looked like almost like over a doorway, and jumps off of that onto Janela on a door. These two fight throughout the arena on the floor. Finally get back in the ring. Joey Janela gets the victory. I end up giving it 3.5 because of those two big spots themselves. Next up, we had Brick Savage taking on one called Manders. Just a hoss fight, a 7-minute hoss fight. Pretty good match, actually. These two just kind of took it to one another. Ended up giving it 3 star with one called Manders getting the victory. Next up, we had a couple of Lucha Libre guys. We had Fuego del Sol taking on Jordan Oliver. Just a good match. Just a good back and forth, high risk match. Two guys just going out there and jumping around. High risk, high reward. Jordan Oliver getting the victory and they've given it 3.5. Next up, we had Sam Stackhouse in a 6-way scramble match against Bobby Flaco, Calibus, Epydemius Jr., Mago, and Shota. When you get somebody the size of Sam Stackhouse with these high flyer Lucha Libre guys, he just starts throwing them around and knocking them out of the air. Overall, pretty good match, a little scramble match. Sam Stackhouse getting the victory, and them giving it 3 star. Now we were supposed to have a GCW World Title match. Supposed to have Mance Warner taking on Dante Leon. Mance Warner comes out, starts cutting the promo, saying that he talked to the general manager, the greatest general manager in GCW history, Matt Cardona. And Matt Cardona says that Mance gets the night off. He doesn't have to defend his title. Blah, 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 blah. Dante Leon comes out and says, you know what, I challenged you to a title match. I want my match, and I want it now. The match starts. We get a bell ring. We get Mance getting DQ'd a minute and 35 into it. So Dante Leon winning by disqualification over Mance Warner. Unfortunately, titles do not change hands on disqualifications. This all set up a ladder match with Blake Christian, who, when he returned, said he was still the real world champion. Joey Janela and Mance Warner at Homecoming. So the Homecoming shows in August will be just unbelievable. Can't wait for those. I ended up giving it a 0.5 star. Next up, we had Los Macizos, Ciclope, and Miedo Extremo taking on Los Desperados, Arez, and Gringo Loco. Basically, we had the Deathmatch King tag team of Los Macizos taking on 2 of the high-flying luchadors, Gringo Loco and Arez. When you put 2 chairs back to back and you drop people on said 2 chairs back to back, it gonna hurt. When you leave the door on the instead of doing the door bridge where when it breaks it kind of you have somewhere to go and hit the mat, You lay the door flat, so when you throw somebody on it, it just boom. Yeah, that's what these guys did to one another. Los Desperados actually was able to get them victory with a couple high energy moves, and was able to, a little high risk, was able to get the dive on the outside by Gringo Loco. They were able to get that pinfall victory, 3.5 star. Los Desperados getting the victory. Next up, we had Microman versus Dark Sheik. Microman comes down, Dark Sheik was like, I'm supposed to wrestle somebody. You're a little kid. What are you doing in the ring? Where are your parents? Your parents need to be here. And then he hits her, and we had a match. And I get the gimmick, but it's like, whatever. It doesn't do a lot for me. I want to see Microman versus Hornswoggle. That's what I want to see. But Microman getting the victory over Dark Sheik. I ended up giving it 2.5. And then our main event was a Houston Street Fight. Zilla Fatu taking on Deathmatch legend John Wayne Murdoch. I've seen John Wayne Murdoch in death matches in GCW, in H2O, in ICW No Holds Bar, in the Chains. I've seen John Wayne Murdoch death match all around forever. Taking on Zilla Fatu. Zilla, though, boy, can swing it too with the best of them. When you have that many tubes, and you literally have to wear gloves in the ring for the referee to count, Zilla Fatu is still a rookie in professional wrestling. Yes, the Fatu name, the whole lineage of that family, we know the bloodline. We know his cousin Jacob. We know the Usos. We know all these folks in the family, where they came from, where they are. Zillow is, for me, the next up for that. He is still learning. He is still very, very green. What I would like to see is him come into WWE, part of the bloodline, but the OG bloodline. So you have Roman come back. You have the Usos join up with Roman. You have The Rock on Roman's side. You have Zillow come in. So you would have Rock, Roman, Usos, and Zillow versus the new bloodline of who we get in the new bloodline right now. Solo Sequoia, Gorillas of Destiny, Jacob Fatu, and then you add Hikuleo to that. I think that could be your 5-on-5 War Games. And then you end up maybe doing something with Rock away from Roman. Maybe doing Rock and Cody at Mania 41 in Vegas. It looks like Mania 42 will be in either 42 or 43 will be in Indianapolis. I think that's where you do Rock and Roman. I think, yes, Vegas is big. I think Rock, Rhodes, and Vegas would do Vegas, because Vegas is going to sell Mania regardless. I think to sell 42, if it's either at Nashville and or Indianapolis, I know Indianapolis is supposed to get the big 3 pay-per-views. So if you do Mania in Indianapolis, I think you need a Rock, Roman for like that. Even Nashville, whichever 42 is going to be at, I think you need that big match. You know, Mania sells Mania, big matches sell Mania, Vegas sells Vegas, basically. So yeah, Zilla Fatu was able to win this Houston Street Fight. I ended up giving it 3-star. It's John Wayne Murdoch. So yeah, overall, top to bottom, pretty good show. Now, I have reviewed every single GCW show in the last 2 years, except for GCW Crime Wave coming soon. Tomorrow we have GCW Backyard Wrestling 6, the July 4th tradition, undisclosed location in, my guess is in Canada this year, because the next 2 shows are in Canada. Like, I think last year or the year before, it was actually in Illinois. I actually had an invite for it, wasn't able to go. But yeah. So yeah, Backyard Wrestling coming tomorrow, so I'll get that reviewed in the next couple days. But that is GCW, no sleep. As always, thanks for watching Rapper Sports Show. From the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Don't just have a great night, have a spiffy night. Rapper Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show content.